Hi, I'm Reverend Paula Skiles with Unity Church of San Marcos. We welcome all of you online and we appreciate you all for being here with us today. As we take this moment to begin services for our Unity Church, this is August 13th, 2023. So welcome, and let's begin with a little music. David Rosenblatt is our musician today, and he has written a beautiful piece. And what is your piece called?
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Sometimes you may feel like you don't have enough, or you're not enough, and then it sometimes can make you think, I've had enough. Man, that's not the way to do it. But
So we'll take a moment then to settle in to your chair and let yourself become comfortable for this fabulous service. And we will be blessed with our guest speaker, who is Linda Gillespie, licensed Unity teacher. So I hope you find this fulfilling, and we shall start right now.
as I said, sometimes it's just about how your viewpoints on enough. And I did just write this yesterday. One of those times, sometimes you have a song that's like, write me now. Okay, we'll see. So you think you're not having it rough, and you never have enough. Take a look deep inside. Your good is not trying to hide. You are, and I am. We are all enough. You are, and I am. Enough is enough, that we are all enough. Sometimes your life can seem so tough. Do you think it's 'cause you're not good enough? You can choose a wheel of reap and sow. Look deep in your heart and you will know that you are, and I am, and we are all enough. Enough is enough, that you are, and I am. Enough is enough, that we are all enough. Enough is enough. We are all enough. Let grace give you that peace of mind to look inside and see. Then you might find it hurts too much, and that you had enough, or you are, and I am, we are all enough. Enough is enough, that you are, and I am. Enough is enough, that we are all enough. Enough is enough, that you are all enough.
Thank you. I really don't have anything else to say. He said it all. It is such a joy to be here. I love being with you guys. It's just like being at home. It's more like we're just going to talk for a few minutes. And I got a text from David on Friday, I think.
Yeah, I was on my way back from the beach.
Yeah. And he said, so what's your talk title? What are you talking about? And at that point, I had my talk title and maybe one or two things. My talk title is Enough is Enough. And that's what I gave him. And he tells me just a few minutes ago that he wrote that in about 5 minutes.
That was an hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
Okay, so it took him an hour to write that, folks. And so I love how this all works. How it all works together for the highest good of everyone and the glory of God. For me, that's what it's all about. My prayer is always, may the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart bring glory to you. It's not about me. Okay, so we all, I'm quite certain, have a library of spiritual books. That was my daughter. I have a very large library. But there are those that I go to frequently. You know, things like Keep a True Lent. If I'm going to read Fillmore, I'm going to read that first because he speaks clearly to me in that book. And as far as he was concerned, Lent is something we need to practice all year long. Because for him, it was about letting go of negativity. And then Discover the Power Within You by Eric Butterworth. Oh, my soul. Oh, love it. And, of course, Lessons in Truth. Thank you, Paula. By Emily Cady. And then, you know, those are timeless treasures. And then there are some more current ones that that really, really speak to my heart. Ellen Davenport's 5 Principles. I love it. If you're not familiar with it, I would recommend you get familiar with it. Divine Audacity by Linda Martella Whitsitt. And one of my very favorites is Don Miguel Ruiz, The 4 Agreements. And we're going to touch base with Don Miguel this morning. In 2001 or 2, I'm not real certain when it was, not long after I moved to Austin in '97 and started my path on the L.U.T. training. Don Miguel Ruiz was coming to Unity of Austin to do a workshop on the 4 Agreements. Oh my soul. I couldn't have been more excited about anything than to just hear from him what was in that book that I loved so much. And Reverend Sandra got wind of the fact that he was doing a medicine bag workshop in Austin just a night or 2 before he was coming to Austin. So 5 of us piled in a car and drove to Dallas for this medicine bag workshop. That weekend changed my thinking on many things. Lots of things. One of the things I've carried with me since is something that he talks about in the first chapter of the 4 Agreements. Past the introduction, in case you're looking for it. And that's what I want to look at with you this morning. And he refers to it as the domestication of humans. The domestication of humans. And this is all my adaptation from that particular chapter. He says that it is through domestication that we learn how to live. In the process of domestication of humans, information is conveyed from the outside to the inside, creating a whole belief system. First, a child is taught to name things. Mommy, daddy, bottle, milk. Day by day, at home, at school, at church, and from television, we are told how to live, what kind of behavior is acceptable. We learn how to judge ourselves and other people, places, things, our neighbors. We learn how to judge. Children are domesticated with a system of punishment and reward, much like we domesticate animals. When we do what Mom and Dad wants us to do, we are good girls or good boys. And when we don't behave the way they want us to, we become bad boys and bad girls. When we go against the rules that are set in place, we were punished. And when we went along with the rules, we were rewarded. This sets up a mindset of reward and punishment. Soon we became afraid of being punished, afraid of not being rewarded. The reward is the attention we get from our parents or other people, like siblings, teachers, friends. Don Miguel reminds us that we soon develop a need to hook other people's attention in order to get our reward. Of course, the reward feels good, and we keep doing what others want us to do in order to get the reward. With the fear of being punished and the fear of not getting the reward, we start to pretend to be who we are not, just to be good enough for someone else. We pretend to be something we are not because we're afraid of being rejected. Sorry about that, guys. The fear of rejection comes quickly, and it quickly becomes the fear of not being enough. Slowly but surely, we become someone we are not, and our normal tendencies are lost in the domestication process. As was mentioned earlier, we learn how to judge, and a part of us receives the self-judgment that comes with the domestication, and it's called the victim. The part that carries the guilt, the blame, the shame. The part that says, poor me, I will never be enough. I will never be intelligent enough. I will never be good enough. I will never be, you fill in the blank, enough. Because I think we all individually have our own things that we will not be good enough for, that the victim uses. The big judge agrees with whatever we say, and it is all based on a belief system that you never chose for yourself. You never chose that belief system. It was given to you. And in that process, it becomes your book of law, which is all based on fear. But it makes us feel safe. Those rules have become our comfort zone. And who wants to move out of their comfort zone, for heaven's sake? We know how to navigate life in our comfort zone. The judge in our mind continues to manage our life, insisting that we follow the rules in the book of law, which says that we are not and will never be enough. 95% of the beliefs stored in our minds are lies, and we suffer because we believe the lies. During the domestication process, we form an image of what perfection is in order to be good enough. We know that we have to be perfect. Wrong, wrong. Wipe that out. We do not have to be perfect. We already are. We have created this image that will never be real. We are never going to be perfect from that point of view. Never. Don Miguel Ruiz, from his understanding, all of this has to do with the agreements that you have made with yourself, with other people, with society, with your dream of life, with God, with your parents, with your spouse, with your children. But the most important agreements are the ones that you make with yourself. In these agreements, you tell yourself who you are, what you feel, what you believe, and how to behave. This is his definition of your personality. In these agreements, we say, this is who I am. This is what I believe. I can do certain things, and some things I cannot do. This is reality. That is fantasy. This is possible. That's impossible. We have such a need to be accepted and to be loved by others. But we can't even love and accept ourselves. There is nothing that needs to be judged in this process. It simply is the way life works in our world today. The possibilities for change are endless as we work our way toward enlightenment. We can learn how to embrace the 4 agreements that Don Miguel Ruiz presents in the remainder of this book, which we will have to address in a class on that book. All of these things bring me back to the scripture that we looked at a couple of weeks ago, Romans 12:2, where Paul is talking to the Romans. He says, don't be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Writing new agreements, making new agreements with yourself and with God. This is just how I hear that scripture today in the light of what Don Miguel has set before us. Remember, Jesus told his disciples, which includes us in case you had forgotten that, to love God, love your neighbor, and love yourself. How can judging be any part of those commandments? I noticed the other day in the yard of one of our neighbors a sign that says, "You are enough."
Oh, wow.
I love that.
I bet you did.
It says, "You are enough." And miraculously enough, I can honestly say that I hear that for myself, and I believe it to be true about me. My question to you is, how often do you hear the truth and accept the truth, that particular piece of truth, for yourself? When was the last time someone said to you, "You are enough"? Before I started all this, before David started all this. When was the last time you said it to yourself? You are enough. My record's stuck on it for today, so just bear with me. You are enough. How hard is that for you to hear and to own? Do you believe it for yourself? If not, why not? We who are created in the image and likeness of God are inherently divine. Period. End of discussion. So why don't we believe that we are enough? Why do we worry so much? If we believed we were enough, would we worry? I think not. Jesus tells us in Matthew 6:25 through 36. It's a long passage. I'm not reading it. But he says in that passage 3 different times, do not worry. Pretty simple. Do not worry. He uses those very words followed by various examples to make his point. Do not worry. In that short passage, he specifies things that we are not to worry about. He begins with, do not worry about your life. Oh well. What you will eat, or what you will drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Then he gives us examples of other creatures that don't have a book of law, that worry about nothing. They instinctively know that their every need is provided by their Creator, just as we are. Everything we need is provided. We have it all right here within us. We, being created in the image and likeness of God, have the ability to think, to discern, to create the life of our dreams. And yet, it all comes down to acceptance. So where's the disconnect? I think that we forget that God is our source. We say it often. Some of us even write it on our checks, have it printed on our checks. God is our source, and that is the truth. But is that a thought that crosses your mind every day? When you go to the refrigerator and you don't have what you really want, do you remember that God is your source?
No.
Something to think about. Thank you, Carol. Thank you. We forget that we don't have to do anything other than love God, love our neighbors, and love ourselves. Because when we do those things, what happens? We tap into divine guidance that's right here. We don't have to go looking for it. It's here within us. It's one of those attributes of God that are a part of who we are. And we ask for help, whatever that might look like. I have a sticky note on my computer that's been there for a very long time that says, I don't have to like the situation I am in, but it is imperative that I love who I am in that situation. That's all that really matters. Because when I love myself in that situation, I have everything that I need. We have this idea that we're separate from each other, separate from God, which is our biggest disconnect. Where did that notion come from? Well, according to Don Miguel Ruiz, it comes from that book of law filled with a belief system that we never chose for ourselves. And I love that he so audaciously, oh my gosh, I can't believe I couldn't get that out of my mouth.
We thought
He audaciously says, those are lies because they're based on fear. The fear of not being enough. We are all that we need to be. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to fear. Enough is enough. Let it go. Because we are all enough. Perfect and whole, just as we are, right here, right now. And as we move into meditation, David is going to play some very wonderful, quiet music. And I will invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And to just breathe. Just breathe. Feel the peace, the love, the joy in this room. Feel the presence of God within and all around. And just let my words be your words. I thirst for thee. Into my hands I commit my spirit, my soul, my body, my life, this problem, all unforgiven states. Thy will is my will. Thy will be done through me. Heal me at depth. Reveal that which needs to be revealed. Heal that which needs to be healed, so that I can glorify you, God, and live in the fullness of grace. I ask that you just consider these words as David continues to play quietly. invite you to take a really deep, cleansing breath. And exhale fully as we return our attention to this time and space. And we declare it is finished. And so it is, and so we let it be so.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you for being with us, Linda. And we appreciate your words of wisdom, sharing with us, and we are supported by all your offerings, and we are grateful for everything you are and do with us. God bless you.